I believe very strongly that income disparity is a huge issue in this economy. And you'll remember when I was Treasury Secretary, I think it shocks some people. I came in, my first speech, I talked about this because some of this was covered up in some of the structural issues during the bubble years prior to the crisis. So I believe that's a problem, number one. But number two, I think the way to solve that problem is not pointing the finger, scapegoating Republicans, scapegoating Democrats, Democrats scapegoating Republicans, people scapegoating China or Wall Street. We've had demagogues throughout the history of this country. We've had populists. But what we need is problem solvers.
Some of those problem solvers in the past have come from Wall Street. Do you think in this environment, the jump you made from Goldman Sachs to the Treasury Department, could anyone make that move? Could Lloyd Blankfein be a Treasury Secretary in this environment?
I would say to you, it's regrettable right now that bankers are being demonized, in my view, because I view markets and banks and investment banks as being a noble profession. And I think in terms of the difference they can make in terms of helping people plan for their retirement, in terms of funding innovation and new businesses, there's nothing wrong with pointing the fingers at the banks and really making a huge effort to clean things up, correct the practices. But the problem is if it just ends there, if all you do is say it's the bank's fault, it's not the policymakers in Washington that created Fannie or Freddie and still haven't dealt with it. Yeah. Give me a break. So again, I'm tired of the finger pointing. I just want to see people working together, Democrats and Republicans working together to restore our competitiveness. So our issues aren't economic issues, they're political issues.
Final question for you. Do you see a 2016 presidential candidate, announced or otherwise, who meets your test?
Well, I'm sure there are a number of them. I happen to be a Jeb Bush fan because I see him as a problem solver. I see him as someone who excelled as a governor, someone I think will have the programs to get the economy growing, and is not divisive. I like where he is on immigration. I like the fact that he's authentic enough that he hasn't said, well, you know, I used to be for the Common Core in education, but now I've changed. And so we have a process where I think it's an important time. We need a real leader to emerge who's going to bring our country together and do some of the things that need to get done.